Thank you, and my question is to the Minister of Children and Youth Services. Mr. Speaker, when I still worked as an optometrist, and believe me, I miss it every now and then, I spent considerable time implementing electronic medical records in an eye care clinic. I was no IT expert, yet I managed to purchase the right hardware, software, and staff training within a budget. In contrast, this government has spent over $27 million just to consult on the software design of CPIN, our new Child Protection Information Network. All of us are committed to the idea of a province-wide electronic data system for child welfare. But, Mr. Speaker, can the minister assure us that this time the government is implementing a system that will do everything workers and children needed to do?
Thank you. Minister of Children and Youth Services.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the member for the question because it is an important question. CPIN, this information network that we're implementing across the province, is going to ensure that young people, when they enter child protection, that their information will be protected, but also it will be shared among different protection service agencies. So we want to make sure, Mr. Speaker, that when a young person is placed in protection in Austria and for some reason moves to Toronto, that there's a communication line and no child is left behind. This is our plan to ensure that children are at the centre of decision making, and when they move from one jurisdiction into the next, that all people that are there placed to make sure that they're safe have the right information on time and the most relevant information today.
Answer. Thank you. Supplementary.
Again to the minister. Mr. Speaker, I think Ontario residents really do believe that Jeffrey Baldwin and Caitlin Sampson might be alive today if Ontario's Children's Aid Societies had had a central database that would have flagged their murderers as unfit guardians. The government has spent hundreds of millions on CPIN, yet few child welfare agencies are using the system, and it still needs costly upgrading and training. This new database isn't practical and not even fully searchable. Our social workers are now being asked to be trained stenographers rather than helping children. They must spend hours typing since no one seemed to have the thought to make CPIN voice inputting friendly. Mr. Speaker, will the minister tell us why Ontario residents should count on his government to suddenly show information technology savviness?
Minister.
Speaker, I hope the member opposite doesn't think that this is just an easy task of putting in some information and moving it from here to there. We're talking about millions of records that date back many years when it comes to children. We need to make sure that the information that's being inputted is done accurately and it's done with efficiency. So I'll tell you, to date, we've moved 40 million records representing 15 societies, Mr. Speaker. That's a lot of information that has been moved. So that represents 37% of all children and family records to date have been moved. So we've got a plan moving forward. We didn't want to do this overnight because, we have to be careful on the approach. We have 5 more societies that are scheduled to be moved over into the CPIN system. And, Mr. Speaker, I'm proud of the progress we've made, but we need to do this in a very careful way so we don't make mistakes. And it's exactly what the member opposite is suggesting that she's doing. Thank you.